More Legacy of
In the
Kain.
furthermost canyon of Nosgoth's frozen wastes, the hushed silences embrace an ancient enigma. In the bowels of this labyrinth, your master awaits.
I don't even have to touch the talk pad to get the Elder talking to me. This game is weirdly quiet. Could really, really do for some subtitles, though. Oh yeah, I'll kick it up another notch. Then we should be just fine. That is the loudest it's been the entire time I've been streaming this game. That's probably for the best, because the voice acting is really good. Now we can head to the central area. Where we wanted to go is much later, but let me look around at stuff. Nope, not in there. I'm gonna head back to Melchiah's town. See how that treats me. Basically, there are a lot of optional upgrades in this Metroidvania, and I have found 0 of them so far. One of them should be somewhere down here, which is a place I explored quite a while ago. I found a slice of pizza. My first ever slice of pizza. But I missed the big one. Gonna need to be bodiless anyway, so let's abandon that. See what we can find down here. I assume this is gonna lead us out of the water, which is not what I want to do. Although, it does require climbing ability. I didn't have climbing ability last time I was here. So, what is this? Where am I going? This is not what I was trying to show off, but it'd still be interesting. Yeah, that is definitely interesting. Appears to be a giant's skull. How much of this game world have I left completely unexplored up to this point? I can't even imagine. Ignore the vampires, they are well beneath my station at this point. Burrowing vampires. Adorable. Okay, seems like that rafter might actually be required for something. I can shoot these very carefully. So far, no. Doesn't look like I can shoot these raptors either to move them. It's the central pillar climbable. I figured that was a long shot, but you gotta check. Get out of here. Throw away the trash. But as usual, as soon as I find a new area, I'm immediately stumped. This game is consistently very difficult to figure out. I think I can climb up there. Certainly can. Always observe your surroundings so that you can come to another dead end. Is that cheese wedge something? And there's another just barely can't make it jump right above me, as per usual. So close. Just the slightest jump upgrade would have gone a long way. But when in doubt, that looks closer. Yeah, let's try this. Made it. Let's eat that soul. Careful. I probably won't walk off the edge while I'm holding the sneak button, but sometimes I still do. So we'll take a tiny jump to get over there. Tiniest jumps are the hardest to control. And for some reason, I landed on the wall. Really thought I might have slid off the wall while trying to descend, but thankfully not the case. I think I can reach that now. To what end? Head over there, kill that vampire. Ah, that's probably the next spot, though. Yeah, this is very satisfying platforming. Visually impressive for a PS1 game, so it's a bit of a visual feast. There's a lot to like about this game. There might be a handful of issues, like the jump that sends you 1,000 miles immediately. No acceleration whatsoever, just 0 to you've already passed where you're going in a millisecond. But it is mostly about figuring things out. Once you have things figured out, it is significantly easier to perform. For example, yesterday, I didn't save and I lost all my progress. So I went back in and had to replay the chapter that took me about 1 hour and 45 minutes to beat. And I beat it in a little over half an hour. So I shaved more than an hour off of my personal best. Simply by knowing the route. Yep. Careful. Get up there. Just over here. Excellent. Sneak all the way over. Just walk right on. Don't jump ever. Never jump in this platformer. We'll regret it. I think that's where I want to go. Almost ran myself off the edge again. Did not do so. I'm extraordinarily high up. Very impressive that this much level is even loaded in at any given time on a PS1 game. Like, this might be the largest free-flowing world in any PS1 game. Almost certainly the largest one to look this good. I'm on top of the skull. Why did I climb the skull? Other than the fact that it's very cool. And down there? I don't want to go over there. I think I have to. Just in case there was a tiny alcove that I overlooked. It's almost certainly empty. But you can never be sure. It could be the most important alcove in the history of the world. Okay, it may never have existed in the first place. Again, gotta be sure. And that's also a dead end. I'm now sure. Let's make a big jump from which we cannot possibly recover off of the Skull Crown. Spirit World is always an option. Usually if you check the Spirit World and it is wrong, they will give you a body generator right in that spot. So you're not screwed. Check, just to be sure. Did warp the crown a little bit. And it collapsed those things, and there's a horizontal body generator up there. That's just confusing. Why does that exist? Perhaps this is why. Okay. This is cool, but this whole area just seems to be for the purpose of getting to a body generator and making it as difficult as possible. I appreciate the sheer inefficiency of that design. Castlevania also had consistently very, very inefficient design. Always been my favorite thing about that series as well. Hope I can make it. Looks like I can. Nice. Got real somber all of a sudden. the hell am I? And why is there a block here? I mean, it's Soul Reaver, so of course there's a block here. But what purpose does it serve? Shudder to even ask. I must need it, so I am gonna take it. Looks similar to the engravings on the wall, so perhaps one of these is incomplete. There it is. But it's not facing the right way. So we gotta give it one of these. I flipped it the wrong way, but that is correctable. Was that another hole? It is. This is kind of baffling because I know for a fact this is not where we need to go for progress. Everything we're doing now is completely optional. That ain't it. Wow. Ah, well. Gotta know when you've been outsmarted. Maybe I'll come back here at a future date. Figure out the rest of it. But that is just one of many, many optional things that I could spend a lot of time figuring out. Here's the teleporter released. It would be nice if it was inside the temple, where I still need to solve that puzzle. But nice is not a word that typically describes this game. So, all those dots around my symbol there, each of those is an optional spell that we can learn. I've learned none of them. I forget what symbol I'm looking for here, but I'm hoping I'll recognize it when I see it. I think it's that one. Might be that one. They both have that similar top mark. Let's try this one first. If this doesn't take me to the snow level, then I will know that I went to the wrong one. I'll head back and go to the right one. This is the snow level. That was weird. This game's stealth kill mechanics are non-existent. So, when I went through and replayed the entirety of the level that's up there, afterwards, when I got the boss's ability, I went to a room off to the right side of the boss's chambers, where his throne is. And you might remember there was a statue in that room. A statue facing one of 4 doors, and 3 of those doors were closed. And when you do go into that room, it gives you a tutorial on how to use that boss's new ability. And you need to know how to use that boss's ability in order to open this door, which is required for progress. Goes like this. When you draw a circle around something, it constricts that thing, including enemies. So now he's dead. But we also have to duck him in fire. Its combat applications are poor. And I don't know if it will solve any puzzles besides turning the sundial right there. There we go. Sundial is turned. Big door is open. I believe this is the final level of the storyline. Trying to get my sword back here. Probably gonna immediately lose it. Okay, I got the first strike. Yeah, doing the circle around the enemy is just begging to have the enemy punch you in the face. And then you have to execute them after you draw the circle anyway, so what's the point? It's the worst ability we've unlocked so far. But it solves one puzzle and is therefore required. New gate. Maybe we'll get all the gates. But I'm still missing like 3 or 4 gates. Even though this might be the final level. I wonder if there's like a New Game Plus where you're allowed to take all your Metroidvania moves to go and check out the optional content that you may have missed. Or if you just have to do strict new game. Can I just like open this door? Of course not. Ah, the wall opened up. Of course. There really could have been better indication of when switching to the spirit realm is the correct course of action. Because really all you can do is realize that you're at a dead end. Say, okay, switch. It might work. Technically, this is sort of an indication. I didn't realize there was this tiny seam here. I could not see it from the other side. But more clear indication for the player might have been nice. I should be able to turn that weird thing in the middle of that last room. We got angels keeping watch over a weird symbol. Temporarily dead guy. We gotta fully execute him. Possibly. Okay. I unsolved that puzzle. Locked myself in this room. I see. The symbol above the angels indicates what gate it will open. Haven't seen that symbol yet. Let's cram it in that slot. See what happens, if anything. Made a click sound. Suggesting something, but no cutscenes, so got nothing to work with there. Oh, there's already a block here. Put it back where it came from. Test out what happens when I take this one. Okay, that's the gate to the other side, I think. Yep, there it is. And that should be in some way related to that slot. This might end up being significantly more complicated than I suspected. Because the only way to get blocks into this room would be to pull all three out of the other room. Move them across the entire central pit. And stack them into this area. Which is only possible if both the doors are open as well. What I know right now is we absolutely need to keep a block in that symbol. Is there anything I need to do with this door? I think that might be the Z. So presumably we need to somehow get a block in each of the portals. I think I know how. It's not actually all that ridiculously hard. I think I'm most of the way there already. This game easily does the most with the concept of blocks of any game that has ever existed. By a wide margin. Oh, I have a body. Gotta get rid of that. Hate those things. Always blocking me from going through bars. So now I need to switch this thing. Strict it around. The worst part is that every single step of this process has a little cutscene to it. If that were not the case, this would go a lot faster. But alas. Once this has been moved to the place where it needs to go. Nope. Stop it. I don't think we need to put anything in either of those slots. I hope not, at least. Pretty sure what we need to do. Switch this back the way it was. Close the gate. obviously put the final block into that symbol there. They give you way more options and information than you actually need to solve this puzzle. Just gotta block out all the white noise. There we go. And that opens all the gates. That is surprisingly kind of them. I thought I would have to go back to the central room, spin that around again to open that door. But no. We solved the puzzle, so we don't have to do any more busy work. Why couldn't the rest of the game have been designed like that? We got more of the goat guys. It's the first hit, of course. And I have no way to kill him. I don't think I need to kill him, though. The floor pattern suggests that I constrict this as well. Does not have a cutscene associated with it, at least. But I probably want to point it towards that square back there. And I turned it the wrong way to do that. So we'll play Ring Around the Rosie for a while as this guy shoots at me. There we go. Oh, it's just a recharge for the spells that I never found. And yeah, I would say if you're gonna play this game, emulation. Because the console version is the correct version. That's where you're going to have the most fun. But playing it without save states is pretty rough. Just emulation is your best choice. The loads are much, much, much faster. Barring that, your best bet would be to get an actual physical copy and run it through a PlayStation 2 with backwards compatibility. That is probably a prohibitively expensive option. Third choice is PC version, which is fine, just fine. Just slightly less ideal than emulation. Is this supposed to be a puzzle? Seems like all we gotta do here. Move these like this. And then shoot them. Yep, like sound. That was a very easy puzzle. Suspiciously easy. That guy charged his attack before I was in the room, so as to get me. We got a crack in a wall that can probably be expanded in the spirit world. We got spikes on the wall, so we can actually kill these things. That's always nice. And they're shooting each other. Adorable. I assume the blue sparklies means that killing those enemies will allow you to recharge your spells, your mana. But we don't have any spells. Which is my own fault. We should totally have spells by this point. Because this is like one of the last points of the entire game. And there are a lot of spells, but they're all optional. Nice. Thank you for jumping the extra distance to get yourself impaled. What does it accomplish to spin these around? I don't know where I should be pointing them. Should I point them at one another? Or towards the center, probably. Because they're at an angle. Come on. Yeah, this game was built around analog controls, so any way you play it, definitely play it with a controller that has joysticks. And I mean, you're gonna, as most controllers these days do. But on the PS1, you wouldn't necessarily have that option. A lot of the games did not support analog sticks. This game really needs it. When did that open? Not this area. That's how we open that area. And find... nothing? Why does this area exist? What the hell? Why did they make a secret spirit world room with nothing inside? Perhaps I need to just go further back to find the door I opened. That's really far back, though. Okay. This, I'm fairly confident, was not open last time I came through here. Yep, this was it.
The Oracle's Cave, where Kane's first fateful meeting with Mobius occurred. Mobius played the role of a doddering soothsayer, stirring his pot of visions while dispensing enigmatic predictions to gullible visitors. Underneath the facade was Mobius the Time Streamer, sorcerer of the Circle of Nine, a ruthless manipulator with the power to bend time. Since his murder at Kane's hands centuries ago, these caves have stood vacant, though, like Mobius himself, they are rumored to be only a facade for a much larger, more elaborate complex. I sensed that Kane was here, and at that moment, I would have plumbed the depths of hell to find him.
Okay. Some more story information. Or, I believe, stuff that happened in the first game. This game is absurdly dense with lore. This whole series, really, but this is only the second game in the series. And there's so much lore. And really, this game doesn't add much to it, from what I've seen. It's just dealing with the fallout of everything that happened in the first game. There was a lot of fallout.
This, I deduced, must be the man himself, the Time Streamer, Mobius. He seemed not at all the impressive figure I had imagined from Kane's boasted exploits. And yet, even this cold image radiated a certain undeniable power.
Okay. Statue. Exciting. What time do we want to set it to? Okay. Just randomly pressing buttons seems to have solved it. I made a straight line, thereby channeling the sun to directly into hell. And I think I just accidentally solved the puzzle very quickly. Not that it was much of a brain buster, that one. Anything of value down there? Yeah, it just keeps going. Probably gonna have to jump down there soon. First, I'll check this spot. But I assume this just leads back up in case we want to undo the dungeon. Yeah. Takes us exactly where we just were. Does that sunbeam point at anything? Nothing special, just puzzle-solving sunbeam. How extraordinarily elaborate. I had a feeling this might be a block here, but I cannot grab it like a block. Okay. Sun goes to the purple Y. But I could probably turn the sun. Let's just try randomly turning the sun. So, shoot a green sunbeam into the red. Maybe I can turn this. There. When red meets red, all is destroyed. So I probably need to line these up to make purple. Yellow plus yellow does not make purple. But blue and red does, and those are the only options they gave us. Glad they didn't make us, like, memorize our color wheels. It didn't turn that time, even though I did successfully constrict it. But now it has. I can only turn one way. That's obnoxious. We are in the home of Mobius the Clock God, so he insists that we turn everything clockwise. Counterclockwise is unacceptable. This ought to do it. Really glad I didn't have to figure out any actual colors there. Just take the options afforded me. Slap them together. No outside real-world knowledge required. Everyone knows wizards just shit themselves and then magic it away. That's just science. The foremost expert on magic made sure to inform the world that that was the case. And who are we to disagree? Got a real pain in the ass here. Who immediately took away my sword. I think these enemies are, like, designed to prevent you from having a sword. There was an impalement thing in the last room. I guess I'm gonna go back and get that. Oh, it was up here. Up here? There we go. There's a reason they keep providing these, and I keep ignoring them. But they're really trying to make this dungeon difficult by combat, rather than puzzles. I suspect they might have, like, blown their load on puzzles in the earlier levels. So far, everything here has been easier than past puzzles. Okay. This one looks like it might be somewhat complicated, at least. That's gateway. So if I keep turning these... Oh, that's just turning endlessly now. Interesting. I accidentally stacked like 5 consecutive moves on the central one. One more. And one less here. That looks lined up. And one less here. Nice. Yeah, getting these puzzles pretty fast. I guess they couldn't really come up with ridiculous new mechanics to take advantage of running around in a circle. They probably should have unlocked running around in a circle earlier in the game, because there's very little innovation to it. Running around in a circle puzzles have been the easiest so far. Damn you. Yeah, also riding around in a circle puzzles could have just not been a part of the game, and that would have been fine. No one would have missed them. They're amusing, but they're real time wasters. Because it's been the same solution every time, just literally run around in circles until the room is solved. It's their least inspired puzzle type so far. Got gears. I wonder if running around in a circle will solve the gears in any way. Not yet, though. Is my impalement stick too far behind to fill this pain in the ass down here? I think so. We got plenty of spikes, at least. Head over here. It went down pretty easy. At least there's that. That wall texture is nothing. Seems like this thing here will prevent me from moving the gears, but maybe not. Let's try. Can't get a good line. That Makes this harder. Yeah, it's too great a distance. It's not picking up a circle. Nor here. Hey, maybe running around in circles won't be the solution to the gears. I don't think I can manipulate anything down here. They're block-shaped. I was gonna say, these are block-shaped, so maybe they're blocks. It turns out they're blocks. That was it? Okay, fair enough. Move 3 blocks. There we go. When in doubt, assume that things are blocks. Okay, there's gotta be a reason I'm up here, though. Now I should be able to get to that area? Or actually, I could get up there by first stacking these blocks. All I gotta do is move this back here. Get around it. Flip that over. Been here. So the other wall, I guess, is where I need to climb out. That's right, I need to stay on the upper level so that I can fly across. To there. And the pendulum moves. Okay. This whole room has been activated. Why is there a hole in the floor? Oh, because the platform extended from the floor. Standing on this gear is, as usual, very difficult. Oh wait, maybe I'm supposed to go from that platform over to the pendulum. Yeah, I can get to the pendulum from here. When it is in its most lowered position. Right about now. It's like a reverse pendulum, though. The base of it stays in place, and the top moves back and forth. I can't kill that guy. I can fight him. There's a block, so I probably want to move that. The only way to move it is like that. I love how these are the hardest enemies in the game. And the best thing to do is just run away. Completely ignore them. It barely even takes me forever to figure out a puzzle anymore. The first, 45 minutes of this stream was spent figuring out one optional puzzle that I never actually successfully figured out, so... There are still limits to my understanding of this game. It's mostly just that this dungeon is abnormally easy compared to a lot of the other ones. I don't think I have a means to kill that guy. which is the one challenging part of this block moving puzzle. It even looks like the blocks are already in the right position. Like, okay, you can shoot upwards, perfect. But it looks like the blocks are already oriented in such a way that I just need to get them where they're going. I don't have to roll them or turn them or anything. But I do have to do it while being shot at. This guy won't go away. And this one... Okay, that one's gonna have to be turned. Yeah, in fact, multiple blocks will have to be turned. So let me try this. Oh, there's nothing of value up here. They're really not going to give me a weapon to kill this guy. This sucks. I guess I just got to try and resurrect with a sword. And then I can kill him. But first I have to die. Find a soul. Resurrect with a sword. Kill him without losing the sword. There. Hopefully he respawns slowly. Pretty sure this is in the right spot at least, yes. And then, yep, this one will have to be turned, and then it will go in this corner. Not what I wanted to do. Has not been turned enough yet. No. One more should do it. Once again, increasing challenge by reducing the amount of space you have in order to manipulate blocks. I saw that in the optional dungeon that I didn't solve. That does go there. Just gotta roll it a bunch of times. One more. Oh, one more? Yeah, one more. I misjudged previously. I do appreciate that the camera angle is very, very high in this room. Nope, one too many. But it at least makes seeing these blocks from the top way easier than it would otherwise be. And... okay, I was worried that I had it wrong. I definitely do not have it wrong. It just got me paranoid. Oh. This camera angle is not to my benefit. Now, you are where you need to be. Finish the drawing. Good stuff. Easy, but arduous. That was an incredibly long fall. Hope this is where I want to be. So I won't be getting back anytime soon. Yeah, that's Metal Gear Solid 3 levels of ladder. Probably gonna need to kill these guys, but they actually provide me with impalement sticks. Beautiful. And to my recollection, I killed 4 brothers. But the manual said there are 5. I'm guessing these are the minions of the 5th. Who was cut from the game? Confirmed. Presumably, he shows up in one of the later games. I can turn these dials. But why? Not sure what I'm trying to do with these dials. I feel like I'm gonna need some indication of what I'm trying to do before I even attempt to brute force this. We got 3 symbols here. Not sure they are interrelated in any meaningful way. Ah. Here's our cipher. So the U needs to attach to the crucifix. The triangle needs to attach to the pi symbol. And the upside down Venus needs to attach to the Z. U crucifix, triangle pi, Venus Z. There's Venus Z. We got crucifix. Yeah, U crucifix. I almost accidentally brute forced this. But the only thing I was missing was triangle pi, which is right here. Just gotta draw a circle properly. Circle. Thank you. It even put me right where I needed to be. Next to the giant swing. Whee! Okay. Maybe there are multiple switches. So that's the triangle pi switch. There's the U crucifix switch. And finally, this one. It's on a bad cycle. That was perfectly fine. Again, abnormally easy. But only because the rest of the game was very, very hard from a puzzle-solving standpoint. This does seem to be the largest level, and it's entirely because of all this dead space. Speaking of space.
My arrival in this miserable age. What trickery is this?
It is no illusion, Raziel, but a glimpse into the currents of time itself.
Okay, is that a time travel portal? Is that what you're telling me? I thought that was going to be a reveal of some sort. Where we, like, learn that the Elder has been manipulating us as a pawn this whole time. Maybe we'll learn something? Anything?
These apparitions torment me. Has this all been foretold?
Raziel not really understanding the concept of time. These things happened. We're seeing when they happened. Perhaps they were always going to happen, or perhaps they happened as a matter of quote-unquote free will. The functional difference is negligible.
Impossible! This must be one of Kane's deceptions.
Kane hasn't actually been a very active villain. Everything he's done, he did a long time ago. But this game, he's just been sitting around waiting for us to do stuff. And stuff we have done. Seems like I should be opening these doors, but they're not opening.
My mind reels with conflict. Does Cain await me moments from now? Or in some century yet to come?
This is an abnormally climactic set piece for a PS1 game, I'll say. It's wasting a lot of time, but it is setting a mood in a way you don't see a lot of games from this era pull off.
What madness does this scene portend? Cain must think me credulous to suffer these lies.
Okay, finally something that isn't just a flashback. Maybe we're going to kill Half-Face Lady. If we are, it's going to be really soon. Not much of a prophecy.
Is this phantasm a conjuration of my mind, or an echo of future events?
Raziel talking like he's right out of a H.P. Lovecraft story. What a nerd. I really thought he would shirk his Dracula nature and get down and dirty with the lowly vampires who look like garbage. But no, he's remained a Dracula throughout the entirety of the game. No more time shenanigans right now, but a portal. Never gonna have to go through all those cutscenes again, or walk down one of the longest hallways in video game history. That part must be a nightmare for speedrunners. We talked about speedrunners in this game earlier. I shudder to even think how long a speedrun of this game would be. But it's gotta be very, very long. Because most of those cutscenes are unskippable. I think the ones that were actually, like, incredibly grainy pre-rendered cutscenes were skippable. But the loading cutscenes before and afterwards, those were not.
At last. I must say I'm disappointed in your progress. I imagined you'd be here sooner. Tell me, did it trouble you to murder your brothers? Did it trouble you when you ordered me into the abyss? No. I had faith in you. In your ability to hate. In your self-righteous indignation. Lies. You cannot have foreseen all of this. Eternity is relentless, Raziel. When I first stole into this chamber centuries ago, I did not fathom the true power of knowledge. To know the future, Raziel. To see its paths and streams tracing out into the infinite. As a man, I could never have contained such forbidden truths. But each of us is so much more than we once were. Gazing out across the plains of possibility, do you not feel with all your soul how we have become like gods? And as such, are we not indivisible? As long as a single one of us stands, we are legion. And that is why, when I must sacrifice my children to the void, I can do so with a clear heart.
Very poetic, Cain. But in the end, you offer no more than a convenient rationalization for your crimes.
These chambers offer insight for those patient enough to look. In your haste to find me, perhaps you have not gazed deeply enough. Our futures are predestined. Mobius foretold mine a millennium ago. We each play out the parts fate has written for us. We are compelled ineluctably down preordained paths. Free will is an illusion.
I have been to the tomb of Seraphan, Cain. Your dirty secret is exposed. How could you transform a Seraphan priest into a vampire?
How could I not? One must keep his friends close, Raziel, and his enemies even closer. Can you grasp the absurd beauty of the paradox? We're the same. Seraphan and vampire. With our holy wars, our obsession with Nosgoth's domination, who better to serve me than those whose passion transcends all notions of good and evil?
I will not applaud your clever blasphemy. The Seraphan were saviors, defending Nosgoth from the corruption that we represent. My eyes are opened, Cain. I find no nobility in the unlife you rudely forced on my unwilling corpse.
You may have uncovered your past, but you know nothing of it. You think the Seraphan were noble, altruistic? Don't be simple. Their agenda was the same as ours.
You are lost in a maze of moral relativism, Cain. These apparitions and portents. What game are you playing now?
Destiny is a game, is it not? And now, you await my latest move.
How about the... Hey, I'm inside a clock. Yeah, that was quite a cutscene. Probably the most voice acting there has been at any one time throughout the entire game. Cain very easily has disembodied me. He does have the best voice acting in the whole game. A game with lots of very, very good voice acting. But that guy really made a meal out of that role. Where he appears to have the least lines of any character. Except, like, the one-off bosses, like Melchiah. Most of whom are voiced by people who also voiced other stuff. Okay, I don't even see Cain around here. Okay, he set the timer to infinite. Now he's on the second level. It's much harder to get to. It seems like I have longer to get to it, at least. Not long enough, though. I go too early? Or does it only work if I have the sword? Sword only. Final destination. No items. So I'll get the sword back. I mean, if you insist, Kane. The real boss fight is these two wraiths that keep respawning. Oh, the central circle here is a health regenerator. That's cool. That's much faster than intentionally shirking my body. And there he is. Acceptable. Is very far away. But he can't do anything at all to me as long as I stay in this exact spot. Finding him and getting to him will be quite the challenge. There he is. Never mind.
You nearly had me, Raziel. But this is not where or how it ends. Fate promises more twists before this drama unfolds completely.
Be warned, Raziel. Once you cross this threshold, you are beyond my influence.
Raziel, Redeemer and Destroyer, Pawn and Messiah, welcome, time-span soul. Welcome to your destiny. Where time is but a loop, a loose stitch in the universal cloth, a streamer might seize upon a chance, a fatal slip, and plunge the fate of planets into chaos.
I have tremendous power as a streamer, it turns out. I can plunge all of reality into chaos, I guess. And that's all the game's gonna tell me. Here's some concept art. Write your own story or play the sequel in several years. Yeah, very clearly, that is not an ending, but it is the ending we get. Because money ran out. Money and time. For such an absurdly ambitious game, though, I don't mind that it's clearly unfinished. Like, obviously, blatantly unfinished. The final dungeon clearly slapped together. And no ending. Too bad. Final boss, a bit of a joke. Nonetheless, very good game. Like, miles beyond anything else I've ever seen on the PS1, visually. Interesting mechanics. They could have used more than just block moving puzzles, but they did a lot with block moving. I enjoyed the block moving. More than most people, apparently. Incredibly high levels of presentation. Just visuals, voice acting, graphic design, all around top tier. I had no idea this game was so impressive. Because when I saw it played as a kid, I was just like, hey, look, you're walking around through drab caves, jumping incredibly high distances. I imagine my friend just got stuck in one room for an hour and a half, and that's what I saw. I did just see Billy Mitchell's name in the credits. So, that's a high pedigree. Probably a different Billy Mitchell, but you never know. And, like, obviously they are begging me to continue playing the series. I already had a pretty strong inclination to do so. So, eventually I guess I'll play more of the Legacy of Kain games. Seems like the correct thing to do would be to roll straight into Soul Reaver 2 on the PS2. Oh, they crunched the developers. Fuck this game. Obviously, they would have crunched these poor people to cobble together something. But yeah, it's not a new problem, and it sucked back then, I have to imagine. I will definitely be doing Soul Reaver 2 sometime, maybe pretty soon. However, since this game is completed, we have a lot more October to come. Starting next week, I'm going to be streaming something I have avoided playing for a super long time, called Manhunt 2. On the Wii. Censored. For nobody to enjoy. I won't enjoy it, the viewers won't enjoy it, everyone's going to be mad about it. That is the Manhunt 2 experience that I hope to bring into the world. And that is what I'll be doing to myself and everyone else. Tune in for that. I'll be announcing it on YouTube the next few days, so that everyone can join in on the misery. Post credits? Nothing. Not a single thing. Also, I wasn't allowed to save before the boss fight, so I assume if I load this back up, it'll drop me before the final dungeon. Let's see.
In the furthermost canyon
Oh,
of
yeah.
Nosgoth's frozen
I recognize this voice clip.
the hushed silences embrace an ancient enigma. In the bowels of this labyrinth, your master awaits.
That's my own fault for not saving for the final boss. But we have every ability effectively, so if I did want to explore the optional content, I could do that from this save point. And it would be just as easy as if I had right before the final boss. Maybe I will, but it seems really hard. I went to that optional dungeon and I could not solve it, so all of these spells, I might never know what they are or what they do. I looked it up. There is a flame variant of the Soul Reaver. Maybe I'll try and find that real quick. I mean, it won't be real quick, and I won't succeed at finding it. But I'll try. Let's see. Where is the Drowned Abbey? I know I have the checkpoint for it. But I don't remember what the checkpoint looks like. I think it might be that one. Let's see if I recognize where this spits out. Door, over here. Did I get it right in one? Or am I nowhere near where I want to be? Nope, this is pretty much it. So I was on the right path at the end of the last, well, 2 streams ago. I opened up a specific stained glass window at the behest of Say-So spoiling things in chat. And good thing too, because I might never have found it. So I encourage that kind of spoiling. Should be just up ahead here. I'll get a flame sword and have nowhere to use it because I beat the game. It's really the spells that are the most interesting thing. I'm probably gonna want a body here. Swimming controls, very good, and they never really had a underwater level. Kind of a waste, honestly. They could definitely have managed a more thorough, submerged level. It doesn't instant kill you every time you touch the water. Alright, these are eggs. They hatch. It's horrible fish vampires. If you let them. Now, last room is where I ended a previous stream. So I never went over here. What have we here? Get out of the water, Raziel. You're getting chewed on by fish. L3 fill.
This elemental forge is tuned to the Soul Reaver's energy. Once baptized in this primordial flame, the blade may be imbued with fire at any future time.
There we go. I got a hot sword. I wish I had taken Say-So's advice a little more clearly, so that I could have had this hot sword for the last 2 dungeons. Get out of the water so I can hot sword you. Okay, never mind. So, what I was looking for was Melchiah's area, again. I did not find the lighthouse. Maybe I'll go look for that as well. I don't suppose the lighthouse is anywhere around here. Supposedly this is where one of the spells are. Somewhere down here. Which is another place that I explored, but failed to explore thoroughly. I think this path leads to the giant skull. Yeah. Definitely remember this. And lighthouse, we don't know where it is, so we can't be guided to it at the moment. So that area might stay missed for now. It's not out of the question that I would come back and stream more of this game because I have like an entire game's worth of optional content that I never found. Which is absurd. The game is unfinished. And there's all this optional nonsense that is surprisingly easy to miss. I found hardly any of it. Why didn't they just channel that effort into finishing the main game? Baffling. Okay, this is where I found the pizza slice. Yeah, there used to be a pizza slice in there. That was the first pizza slice I ever found. So that should be something new behind this gate. As soon as I'm allowed to go through it, I will do so and find something new. I never even tried to visit the Elder God with a corporeal form. What do we do? How do we move this? We just push it. Okay. You see an obelisk, you push it the hell over. That's Raziel in a nutshell. Screw your ancient towers and symbols. I'm flipping them all. Flipping every table in town. And here we go.
Once acquired, these glyphs empower you with elemental lore. Each spell exacts a sacrifice of energy, however. Use them sparingly and wisely.
Now I have spells. So, there's our first spell. You do a dance, and then everything around you explodes, it looks like. Seems pretty powerful. It costs 1 mana, I guess? Yeah, 1 of 2. Perfect. Watch my dance. That killed him good. Take that, humans. Definitely gonna play Soul Reaver 2 at some point. But that is Soul Reaver 1 in its entirety. And then some. Slightly more than its entirety.